Trenuj w sprzęcie dla najlepszych. Wejdź na groundgame.com.
Norman Parke after press conference before EFM in Bulgaria. Norman, so first of all, a very big surprise. First KSW, then you were talking with FAN, then Freak organization, and now EFM. How did you find here?
No, it was, how was it actually? I think Norbert contacted me through WhatsApp, I think it was, and he just explained who he was and, you know, the promotion that he's Materla's brother, and that they're starting a new organisation. They had their first show, and they wanted me to fight in September. But this was already sorted about, we've been speaking for about maybe 3 months or something.
Oh.
Yeah, so, but we only kind of got a deal done just before I came to Poland, you know, for the fight on Fame MMA.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'd signed the contract September 11th. And yeah, at least they get to stay active. It's a different country too, because most of my fights have been in Poland lately, and well, I love fighting in Poland. I love it too. You know, it's good to get it'd be good to get the fans properly back, because I miss the fans. But I know in Bulgaria there's going to be fans there, and even though if they boo, I don't care. I just love it when the fans there, because it makes me more want to fight. You know, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's a different feel. I've never been to Bulgaria before, and I heard it's cheap and a good place to party.
Yeah, Norbert, during press conference, an organizer of EFM said that you can have a great party there, and then also see some good MMA fights, and then go to party.
Yeah, I heard it's a good place. It's pretty cheap too, and a few of my friends have been there before and says you got to go if you want a good place to go and it's cheap. That's the place to go. There's 2 places I think you can go: Sunny Beach and Golden Sands or something like that. So maybe I'll stay for a couple of days and go and see what's up, because I know the weather's pretty good all year round, and I need to work on my tan because I'm like a sheep, you know. I'm maybe dark here, but my body's white like a sheep.
We all are after this COVID and lockdown.
Yeah, yeah, it's good for everything just to open up. It's like everyone's. I know back home everything opens next week. Everything, pubs, so people will be able to go into the pubs and drink, and it's be like, fuck. You know, a lot of pressure. Like, it's crazy for the last year. It's been very, very crazy. A lot of people get stressed, you know, their job and stuff like that there. So, but I don't really have to worry too much, because I've got to say, sometimes you take it for granted, but I love what I do too, you know, and I get the opportunity to go all over the world and compete. Not really many people get to do that, the way what they like to do with their passion, you know. And this is my passion, this is what I love to do, and I could be working 9-to-5 job back home and be miserable. So sometimes I got to appreciate what I got, and you know, the opportunities that people give me too, and the people that helped me get here, you know, them. So I owe it to them too.
Before we go to balcony, I have to ask you about some things connected with also your contract with KSW. Everybody's asking about it. I know that this fight will be outside of Poland, so it shouldn't be any problem. But how does your relationship with KSW looks now?
I've never heard too much. Mostly Marcin, he'll chat to, you know, Voice Laugh, the matchmaker or something like that there, but I've never heard from them at all.
So there was no fight offer during those 9 months, I think?
No, there was never. The only time there was a fight offer was whenever they found out I'm going to fight on EFM in September, you know. That's the only time I heard about an offer to fight in KSW in September too. And I was like, okay, no, I'm going to fight on EFM, and if they want me to fight after that, I'll fight for them. But if they don't want me to fight, then no hard feelings. It's just, what is it they say? It's just business. So I need to kind of take that approach too, and just be like, not go crazy all the time, because I would quite vocal on that. But still, I got respect for them too. I know some things have been said, maybe some things I said that should never have said, vice versa, but you got to put yourself in my position. What went down before that fight with Gamrot, I should never even have stepped in that fight with Gamrot. And no way, with the whole medical thing and stuff, I should never have did that. But I'm not just blaming other people. I know I should have had the weight on point, and it would never have happened, you know, that problem. But still, like, just even to be stepped into the fight, to be stepped into the fight, and then other end not add up, you know. So that's where I'm pissed off about that. my coach had already said you're not fighting, but I never listened to him. But here we are, you know. I fought in Fame MMA. Why did I go Fame MMA? Nice paycheck, of course. Good publicity, very good publicity in Fame MMA. A lot of people don't like the organisation, but I think it's good business. And I respect people for stepping in there. I know it's like a lot of YouTubers and influencers, but you know, they train hard. You know, they train hard for maybe a couple of years now. Maximum, some of them have been training since their first show, and.
Did you feel good there among all those people?
Well, I know a lot of them. I got on quite well. I'm not too hard to get on with people. I kind of blend in pretty good, and most of them, you know, come over and chat too. And a lot of people wanted to see me beat him also, but a lot of people too think, you know, I should have knocked him out. I should finish him because he's just a YouTuber and a Warsaw Shore guy, but. He's got experience in boxing. People don't understand. Like, I'm not a boxer. Like, if you watch most of my fights, I'm not really striking oriented. I like to go grapple, clinch, a bit of striking, more kicking, grappling. And he's a straight boxer, and he trained hard for this fight. 100% he trained hard for this fight, and because he knew it was a big thing for him. If he beat me, it was like, you know, I would never have heard the end of it. If he had won the fight, he would have never heard the end of it. So it was good, and the judges were right on the scorecard. The way they said to me, the way the fight was going to be scored, that I never did anything wrong in the fight. I felt I won the fight. I felt I won the fight 4 rounds, and he maybe won the last round, and then the point deduction makes it 3-2. But I felt I won the fight. And he passed me the belt, you know, so he even knew himself. And then once they passed the belt, he started talking. But we'll see. If they want the rematch, no problem. Maybe 2 gold bars the next time.
Norman, I remember your doubts before this fight in Fame MMA, and why did you change your mind?
What, my doubts, like it wouldn't happen? Because of the situation with KSW, you know, because there was the block. The plan was to maybe try and have the fight in the embassy in Poland. And I think KSW and Fame MMA come to an agreement, and whatever they did, you know, I'm not going to speak too much about that, but they came to an agreement, the fight happened, and there was lots of promoters there. At the Fame MMA there was the guys from Fen, there was the guys from Babylon, there was guys from Fight Night Armia, there was a few boxing promoters, and there was a lot of different people there. Quite swanky people was there too.
Do you think that it's a good thing for MMA and for all these things that were built during the last 15 years maybe, that now MMA is connected with freaks, and a lot of young fans will think that Fame is a quite good MMA when it isn't?
Well, I know that they know that themselves. They know that it's not a high level. They said that, but it's a big business, right? It's a bigger business than all of them. Let's be real.
The organizer knows that, the people that are fighting there knows that, but the fans that are starting to watch MMA because they watch YouTubers in the cage, they think that what they see, it's a good quality MMA.
Yeah, but then, you know, they'll realise after a while, they'll be like, oh, why did this guy not win? And then they'll start to study, you know, they'll learn. So when they're younger, they'll start to study and ask questions and start to read up more about it and get more interested in mixed martial arts and find out this and that. So they'll learn, they'll keep learning. Same with my fight with the weekend. A lot of Cassius fans think, oh, he won the fight, look, he threw more punches. That's what they're saying. But he threw more punches, but a lot of them were blocked. It's called a block, defend and counter. So they'll go back and they'll look at the fight and listen to experts and stuff and be like, right, defend it, normally land it better, cleaner shots, and that's how it was scored. So they'll learn. People will just keep learning for that. And I was against it away at the start, not Fame MMA, but in freak fights in general. But I know it's a big business and it brings a lot of different eyes to the sport, and it helps proper MMA fighters too. It helps them get publicity, which is a big thing nowadays. You got to sell yourself in the sport too.
Okay, so let's stop about this for now and talk about MMA. Where do you feel better? In KSW, in EFM?
I wouldn't say I feel better in, you know, either or. You know, I just like to fight, and I got the opportunity to fight. This is a wee bit different because it's in a different country. You know, I like to fight in different countries, all over. I've been everywhere. And I like to fight in the hostile territory. Sorry, my button's opening up here.
Okay.
And I like to fight in hostile territory. I just like the feel of being somewhere else to fight. And I can always look back and say, look, I've been here fighting. and it'll be something to talk about in years to come. Remember the time we went to Bulgaria?
Okay, so what about welterweight? I understand that you will stay in this weight class, not thinking about coming back to lightweight.
No, I don't think right now, no. Too much since the whole thing, even when I fought Josek, when I fought against Gamrot the first time was I made the weight, the second time I missed by 300 grams. It was still very stressful and tough, and then the last time was just, I says that's it, I'm finished doing that, I'm never going to do it again. Too much stress it was, and I said, people saying you're lazy, you're this, you're that, and I'm like, no man, I was like, name me, there's some fighters from lightweight that's moved up to welterweight and has performed better. Rob Whittaker moved from welterweight to middleweight and was undefeated. So I feel like I'm not out of my depth from strength wise, less stress, and I can fight with anyone, no problem.
Last question from me. Vladislav Kanchev, your opponent, well, he's not a very talkable guy. He doesn't talk much, as we saw at the conference. What do you think about him as a fighter and as an opponent? Where do you see his pluses and minuses?
Yeah, I've seen his fights, I've checked him up, and it seems he likes to go for the knockout a lot. He likes to bang, like a lot of hooks, and I watched his last fight where he lost by decision, but before that he was on I think a 4 or 5 fight win streak, a few finishes, you know, I think they were all finishes actually, by TKO, so I need to kind of watch out for the sneaky shot, but I've been knowing I can take a good shot too, and moving up weight I feel I can take it even more, and I fought at the weekend and Cash has never even flinched me with one punch, not one punch where I was like, oh shit, you know, whereas when I dig him a few times, I seen him going, he's stunned a few times and his eyes lit up, 3 times that happened, so it's just going to make me stronger, I think, coming into the fight. So, and as my coach always says, you're a tough fucker, just keep going and I'll fight anywhere, no problem.
Will you stay in Poland to prepare yourself for this fight, or are you going back to home?
No, going back home. I didn't want to be in Poland, nothing against where I trained at. I like where I trained, but I know like some of Gamrot's teammates trained in Ankos, and I didn't like the...
comfortable for you?
No, I didn't like it at all. I just thought it was a wee bit sneaky, you know, I didn't like that there. And but I had to be there because of the whole COVID stuff. I needed to be there training. But no, I've got a good team of people back home. Maybe you got to travel a wee bit, but we got good boys back home, and we got enough to like I've got a lot of experience, you know, and I learnt a lot in Ankos, a lot of good wrestling, and it's not to say that I won't go back and train there. Of course I like the wrestling there, good hard wrestling they do, I like that, and the coach helped me with some good stuff for my style. So I'll go back home and train. I know we need to go to Bulgaria next week for a press conference, so I'll get to see my opponent there and see what he's got to say.
One more thing. When I see your comments in internet, I think that you started to cheering for Gamrot. When I see what you are writing to him, when after his fights, before his fights, it's like it's not your enemy anymore.
No, well that's been done. He won the fight, he whipped my ass, moved on to the UFC, he's doing really good in UFC. First fight was very close, could have went either way. A very, very close fight, high level fight. His last fight were very, very good, very, very good, against a strong boy too, a very good finish.
Your prediction for his fights with Jeremy Stephens?
I trained with Jeremy Stephens in the Alliance in San Diego way back in 2013. He likes to look for the knockout punch, but in all honesty I think Gamrot's too cute for that, you know, too smart. Like he's very good at timing his takedowns, good top control. Jeremy Stephens has done wrestling too, but I think Gamrot is better jiu-jitsu and wrestling together, good at putting all his skills together, so I think Gamrot wins that fight in all honesty. I think he will win that fight. I would love to see Gamrot fight Islam Makhachev. I really do. I think this clash of styles is good because both of them have fought against Manson Benori, you know, very, very tough guy, French dude, and Gamrot's got a very good chance to fight against Makhachev. You know, very good chance. I think he'll be up into the top pretty soon, top 10.
Thank you very much, Norman, from the stock. We hope to see you soon in the cage, not only in EFM but also in KSW. Thanks.
Cheers, thank you.